Welcome to the Daily Exchange! Well, welcome back here, guys. Today we're going to figure out whether it's time to buy or it's time to sell. Buy or sell, buy or sell, buy or sell, buy or sell. We're going to talk all about that. We're going to talk about Joe Lubin on talking about the future of Ethereum and a lot about ICOs today. We'll see you guys right after this. All right, welcome back, guys. It's a really interesting time right now. We're going to look at some prices. Let's look at the market right now. Joel, if you want to bring up where we're at in terms of the market. We've got Bitcoin trading at 6270, kind of trading a little bit sideways. Ethereum at 281. Ethereum Classic is just flying, $13.60. I am not sure exactly why that is. 14%. Actually, no, we do know why that is, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It's about the Coinbase Index Fund opening up to institutional investors. We're talking about EOS at $4.63, down 2.54%. Bitcoin Cash at $507. Ripple at 28 cents, down 3.74%. It seems like Ethereum Classic's the one, 14.15%. For some reason, I've been talking about Ethereum Classic and it's just I'm not even listening to my words. Maybe that's not financial advice. Maybe I should consider buying Ethereum Classic. Someone can convince me why. I'm all ears. Tron is back down to 1.9 cents. Stellar at 21 cents. Cardano is in a weird place right now. And we're going to talk about Cardano actually a little bit later on today. Binance Coin is trading at... Where is Binance Coin? Where's Binance Coin trading right now? BNB. Binance. Where is our young Binance Coin? Ah, we're back. Where is our Binance Coin? Bitcoin Cash, Binance Coin. Why can't I see Binance Coin? What have I done wrong? Binance Coin is, I don't know what's going on. Can't seem to find our young little Binance Coin. $9.50, so it's down 6.17%. I always think it's interesting sentiment, Binance Coin, because it kind of, to me, determines where Binance is trading. If there's lots of trading activity going on, or if there's not much, I always find that really fascinating. So you can see Binance Coins, it dropped down quite a bit overnight, over the last few days, and it went back up, but it's pulled back now to $9.48. Feels like everything's winding up to take a move in one direction or the other, but right now Bitcoin is still holding strong, whereas the rest of the market seems to be jumping all over the place. Let's get into that. Last week, as in the past, Bitcoin shorts went up dramatically from about 17,000 to 34,000 shorts on Bitfinex. When that was obviously around that 7,500 to 5,900 mark. And long positions have gone down to around that 26,000 mark. It's always interesting to look at the longs and the shorts. It kind of gives you a good indication of where things are going. Ethereum is obviously one of the things which is really interesting right now. ETH News suggests that buyers may have to sidestep some stumbling blocks near $290 and $300 levels. And they quote, "A failure to surpass the mentioned resistances could trigger a fresh downward move back toward 270 or 260. Well, you know, we're trading at around $282 right now, so we'll see how we can go. We'll see if we can get there. Analyst Ayush Jindal. On the other hand, a bullish break above $290 and $300 will most likely decrease selling, and Ether might accelerate a lot higher. Interesting, really interesting. In terms of Ethereum Classic, it seems to be flying right now, and I think the reason for that, the 14% movement up, is that Coinbase has recently opened it up its index fund, which includes Ethereum Classic, to institutional investors. So those guys are probably piling in and they're buying up Ethereum Classic. And Huobi Exchange, talking about institutional trading, has also opened up its institutional trading desk to as well, which is really interesting. It's only opened it up, I guess, in its first phase to 100 clients. So we'll see where that goes. Now, let's talk about Ripple. Ripple, there's been this bear whale circling around. It's got billions of XRP, not Ripple. Completely different things, Ripple and XRP. We're not talking about Ripple right now, we're talking about XRP. Billions of XRP circling in this bear whale's wallet. And apparently it's just been dumping lots and lots of XRP on Bitfinex and Bitstamp. Huge spikes and bounce backs have been going on. Now, normally that kind of stuff would go through an OTC desk and they'd spread that out so that the impact wasn't as big. And I do know that XRP or Ripple does have an OTC desk as well, and they do make themselves a lot of trades. Now, this bear whale seems to be spooking the market a bit, and Ripple's price but seems to be holding up okay. It's only down 2.52%. EOS is down 2.79%. So it kind of, Stellar 3.59, Bitcoin Cash 2% down. It kind of seems to be holding up regardless of this bear whale. It just seems Binance Coin, for some reason, is down dramatically versus everything else. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Tron is just loitering around, down 1%. And Cardano. Now, let's talk about Cardano for a second. Mr. Hoskinson, Charlie boy. Charles, my boy. He's building something. I thought he was already building something, but anyway. Apparently he's building something very special to launch to encourage the development of third-party application ecosystem for his partners, and it's called codename Icarus. Isn't that like the horse that could fly, Joel? Is that the horse that could fly, or that was it the horse that just grew wings, or was it the boy that grew wings? What is the Icarus thing? What is that thing?
Let me go check.
Yeah, check it out. If anyone knows about Icarus, tell me about it, because I've got absolutely no idea. On my Greek mythology, it is something my father would have expected me to know, but I don't. Okay, trading trends. Let's talk about this, Joel. I've got a question for you. How are you feeling about the market right now? Because I think you give a good sentiment, a good gauge. I know people are pointing fingers right now at altcoins missing their targets, all these projects are just not delivering. Everyone's freaking out. How are you feeling, Joel, out there about the cryptocurrency market?
I always get excited when these kind of things happen. It's like, it's a really good time to buy or sell depending on where you bought in.
That's true.
So,
this could be the moment in time, this is not financial advice, but this could be the moment in time of great fortunes could be made, potentially. Look at that, LLSK and Funfair up dramatically as well. Let's go back. Ted Rogers, president at Bitcoin wallet Xapo. He's put out a tweet, and it's not obviously shitcoins to be worried about. I don't know, am I allowed to say that, Joel? Maybe we need to edit that out. Next time, we can't say that. That's too strong. There are obviously lots of our younger fans are watching, and I apologize to all of them out there. Especially my daughter, she'd be in a lot of trouble. Hit us the tweet, Joel. What do we got? What has the man said? We could be in the midst of the extinction level event for crypto assets that many maximalists have predicted. 90% of CoinMarketCap lists will disappear eventually. Might as well happen now. Meantime, lower Bitcoin price means incredible opportunity to buy more Bitcoin. Do you reckon Ted Rogers owns like a mountain of Bitcoin? Like he's literally just like, he's like, hey man, I got like a mountain of Bitcoin, and this whole altcoin thing, I appreciate what we were doing there, but that thing's like a dinosaur event. Let's go and sell all your stuff. Let's go and kill the market. It seems like self-serving to me. I don't know. There are lots of great projects out there, and they're all growing the cryptocurrency market. Remember, they're getting new people involved. So like I just really think this idea of one coin being better than the other. Let's help all coins achieve what they're trying to do. If they can't achieve what they're going to try to do, that's we're trying to get out there and let's help them. Let's get this cryptocurrency market growing. Very bullish on Bitcoin. An extinction level event. Extinction. Joel, do you think like there was some dinosaur going around, you know, back in the day saying we're going to get extinctionized or we're going to become extinct?
No, well, you know what? Probably just one really smart dinosaur who like essentially knew dinosaur. There we go.
They probably killed him off, eh?
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Lubin, Joe himself, I think he owns like $1 billion of Ethereum, was on Bloomberg the other day. And he was talking with the presenter, and he is saying that trader types are killing the cryptocurrency space. Trader types. Let's have a look. Joel, can we bring up this this video? I want everyone to have a listen to some of the chat he's got.
You're the developer. You're the visionary.
Can we hear that? Sorry, we
can't ignore the price collapse that we're witnessing in crypto. Are you paying attention?
Is that coming through okay, Joel?
Price collapse. It's kind of funny. So this is something that we've seen so many times in the blockchain ecosystem since essentially 2009 when Bitcoin was invented.
So
we've seen rises and falls.
Cool,
we've seen in the previous one. It brings money. It brings the. We had a big bubble. A increase in scalability. No, we're not seeing that. So we.
Exits on the way down?
No, we're not seeing that.
Listen to this. This is a great question.
The talent. Does it worry you at all that the developers, the entrepreneurs, the talent, and the money that enters the crypto ecosystem on the way up exits on the way down?
No, we're not seeing that. So we see trader types.
Trader types. Beware of them trader types. Joe definitely has never traded cryptocurrency. He is not a trader type. He is not of the type of trading. He's not in the business of trading. Joe is not in the trader type camp. He is the other camp where they don't trade cryptocurrency. I'm not sure what exactly they're doing with their cryptocurrency, but they don't trade.
Feel like their fortunes are rising and falling with the price of Bitcoin and the price of Ether. And really all these tokens are incredibly correlated. So it's really the trader types that are moving them around. But
don't you feel it too?
Not so
on
much.
Paper, surely. You know, when Ether's at 1,300, you're a much wealthier man than you are today, even though you remain.
Sure. So we can look at the price and we can make growth plans and projections, and we're still on track, basically. So this is not unexpected, and we do feel it. We feel the exponential increase in activity in our ecosystem. It is overwhelming what's going on in terms of our different product projects, in terms of new scalability technologies, new teams, projects, developers that are entering our ecosystem, new large companies that are that have gotten comfortable with our ecosystem.
And we're getting this guy as like an absolute media ninja, like next level media ninja. The guy goes basically, hey man, how do you feel about losing like $250 million? And this guy turns around and goes, you know what, man? You know, we feel it real hard. You know, it's really intense, but you know what? It's actually really growing our ecosystem and our developers are coming in, you know, and we've got scalability issues. We're not freaking out about the $250 million at all. No. We're experiencing it in great growth. That guy's like a media ninja, man. Joel, can you note down for the future, media ninja Joe Lubin, the man himself? Let's go back to that quote. That was incredible.
Yep, I'm writing down.
Do you feel that $250 million? Yeah, we feel it in scalability issues and new projects starting up. Wow, that's like the politician goes, you know, did the submarine did you know the submarine was gonna sink? And the guy's like, Well, you know, we've got all these people coming down to the beach now to come and look at the submarine underneath the water that just where it sank. It's really interesting. The guy's like next level ninja. He's talking about the beach. He's talking about the impact. I don't understand. This guy, literally. Anyway, he goes on to say, blah, blah, blah.
This is an ad for a project management tool called Monday.com. This is what it looks like, and this is what it feels like.
What? Why YouTube? Why do you have to do that to me?
Absolutely expect that there is a strong correlation between the rise in price and the growth of fundamental infrastructure in the ecosystem and the growth of development in the ecosystem. We are probably 2 orders of magnitude bigger as a developer community than we were 8 or 10 months ago. And so that's gonna it's going to be astonishing. And
it'll fuel the price again.
Yeah, we're.
So what I like about this, and what's really true, and the one thing I did, you know, when Joe goes through this, he basically is pitching, you know, the guy's trying to like get him to like freak out on camera and say, you know, the price is going to hell, I'm freaking out. You know, he's got over 1,000 employees at Consensus. And he's asking him, and how much does it cost to run it? He says $100 million a year, blah, blah, blah. So he's selling Ether. Of course, these trader types. Trader types are selling Ether. Joe doesn't sell Ether to fund Consensus. No, that comes from developers. Anyway, what he is saying, Bud, is all these developers and all these projects are coming in and they're starting to really dial up the ecosystem. And he thinks, and he forecasts, is that there's going to be an even bigger price rise than before. He said there are 6 of these that have already happened, and he just thinks this one's going to be exponentially, gargantuanly bigger for what they are doing and the scalability that they are creating and all the things that they are building on Ethereum. It really made me feel like Ethereum is doing some things. Now, we're going to talk about Ethereum for a second because right now, our man, our boy, Vitalik, the man himself, the savant, is literally on a tweet storm. 75 tweets now. 75 tweets in a row. And he's talking all about Casper and Plasma and all the things that he's investigated and all the articles that he's written. Recursive proximity to justification on FFG fork. Wow, that's intense. I love this one here. He says, basically, the network latency assumption arguably, I recently decided to look into Leslie Lamport's old 1982 paper from 1982, where he had a consensus algorithm that has 99% fault tolerance. If you add the assumption that all nodes, including observers, are online with a low latency, he's like pulling in like everything. Vitalik's like digging up literally the archaeology of computer science and everything to do with, because blockchains weren't invented recently. Blockchains have been around for ages. And he is going through literally, like, look at this. Joel, can you explain this diagram to me?
I wish I could.
Okay.
That's amazing. You know, I think it's
well,
it's
red is
simple.
the malicious place, clearly, and the other 2 sort of situations are honest, but the red one, not so good, especially with the X being 2 to the 0 and W 1 to the 0. Anyway, so, you know, this is like hardcore real blockchain, real blockchain. This is real blockchain stuff. Actually getting into the detail, actually making this happen. And I love how he makes it so public. It's literally, I don't know, I can read English, but I'm not sure how many of these words or concepts I can comprehend. Joel, have you been on Vitalik's blog recently? Are you reading the 99% fault tolerance consensus?
Yeah, only to kind of calm down after a long day at work, you know, just unwind, glass of wine.
And Casper's FFG, that's
a good one.
That's a page turner.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vitalik's on this real rant, guys. And he's really putting it out there. And let's see what comes of it, because I think it's great. You know, one thing I did want to come back to with Ethereum, and Joe Lubin made this statement, and it's a pretty big call. And I want to highlight it. He said in his talk that Ethereum is the base layer, the #1 layer, and EOS is a secondary protocol layer. And he visions a day where EOS plugs in to Ethereum to be the ultimate source of truth. That's a big call. EOS tapping into a smart contract of Ethereum to actually deliver a source of truth. That's a big call. But when I was thinking about it, and I remember back in the day, Vitalik did help out EOS with their distributed proof of stake. If you remember, just before they launched, they helped out. Vitalik wrote on their GitHub and was helping them out. And I just wonder, maybe in the back end, is Dan Larimer and Vitalik potentially getting together to collude and actually make the ultimate blockchain? You heard it first, right here, on the Daily Exchange. All right, let's move on. The shakeout, the sell-off, the crypto, we're going into like supersonic land. Now, our resident crypto god, Andrew Munro, has put together an incredible guide of 5 reasons to either buy the dip or 5 reasons to stay away. Let's go through them. Here are the top reasons to buy. The prices are down. Well, that's pretty obvious. I agree. Number 2, Bitcoin ETFs are coming. Woo! Number 3, the tech is sharp and it's early days. I agree with that. And that's what Joe Lubin was talking a lot about with his interview as well. It's a practical way of diversifying investments. We've talked about that. The efficient frontier, and you can read Andrew's article about that. Allegedly, smart people are buying, especially when prices drop. That's the way to go. When the prices drop, that's the time to buy. Why should you be selling? Prices could go down further. You know, it's possible. Number 2, other things can do better. You know, potentially if you just held your cash, or you put it in a savings account, or if you, there's all sorts of things you could buy. There are too many ways to lose it all. You could lose your private keys, it's too unsafe. It's getting real scary, fear-mongering. Tobias in our office at Hivex has a great call. He calls it sometimes, cryptocurrency can sometimes be treacherous. One mistake and you're gone. It's true. It can be quite treacherous. Number 4, scams are everywhere, and we'll talk about scams in a second. 80% of ICOs apparently have been scams, but only 0.3% of the raisings have gone through them, which is interesting. It's not worth the effort. Potentially, it's a lot of work, and yeah, you could potentially not really get into that. But have a look at that, guys. And obviously, this is only general advice. It has nothing to do. It's my opinion. It's not actually financial advice. We are currently not giving any financial advice. We're merely describing cryptocurrencies and talking about the information that's involved with them. Now, let's have a look at the good and the bad in terms of ICOs. We're moving on. By the way, this is not financial advice. I think I've already said that. But there's a really cool visualization, Joel, if you want to bring it up, from a data scientist on Twitter who has visualized ICOs and the returns over years. So we've got here Ethereum obviously is just absolutely smashing it. 59,230% up. Neo obviously up there. Cardano, Binance Coin. Tron still is way up there from its ICO. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of wins there. Then you got all the losers down the bottom as well. Look at all. I'd almost say the losers are outweighing the winners right now. Wouldn't you say, Joel? It seems to be a real purpley black cloud down in that market cap zone between, let's say, 1 million to 10 million that have lost almost 100%. And I feel bad for everyone that's been involved with that, and I'm sorry that you would have to experience something like that. And as I said, you know, there's this massive scam just recently as well. It's just come out of China. They've scammed US $60 million. It's the largest ICO exit scam to date. It's unbelievable. ACC chain, Puyin BioLife chain. I feel really bad for everyone involved with that. That's unbelievable. You know, there's a couple of really, I'm telling you, anyone who's going around pitching fantastical ideas and asking you to put money in right now, I would just double, triple, quadruple check, look their name up, do some research about them, because right now I think there's a lot of scams going on, and I just don't think it's anywhere near time to get involved with that. We've got a new screenshot here. Joel, if you can bring it up for us. The Satis Group has identified that 78% of ICOs in 2017 were scams. Only 0.3% of that was obviously the money, and 11% of the only went to raise somewhere between 0.3 and 11% of approximately $12 billion. So you can read into that guide. It's written by Andrew there. It's an incredible piece. Obviously, we need more regulation around these ICOs. Like, what is actually going on? And the European Union is putting together some ICO guidelines, which is great, and that's really going to help us. Jeju Island, the governor in South Korea, it's one of the largest islands in South Korea, and I was just recently in South Korea, which is kind of cool, has officially asked the central government to designate it a special economic zone for cryptocurrency and distributed ledger technology, a hub that would have clear ICO regulations. South Korea, ooh, welcome back. And in the US, the SEC has also been increasing its warnings on self-managed retirement funds, speculating on highly volatile ICOs. So if you think about getting involved with an ICO, obviously do your research, check out the team, research the people behind it. It's obviously a great place to start. And there's this new website I wanted to show you guys called concourseq.io. And it has warnings about ICOs. You can see them right here, BitLumens, Gear Token, and it'll tell you literally up front why there are warnings about each of the ICOs, which is awesome. This is incredible information. It says like usage of the rocket and space buzzwords are irrelevant to the actual project. Inaccurate scientific claims in this project. Whoa. That's like junk science. You know, junk science like, shark oil, Joel? You know, shark oil is really good because it could potentially prevent you from getting cancer, because sharks don't get cancer. Yeah, that's junk science. Yeah. Check out concourseq.io, guys, and you can see all the scams as to what's going on. And beware, be careful. ICOs out there. Check them out before you get involved. Old school VC funding and IPOs. There is news right now. The Australian blockchain digital identity startup Identity, with 2 I's, Identity, has launched an $11 million IPO on the ASX. It's the second blockchain IPO on the ASX after KYC software provider Kika. There are, of course, other more general crypto-related companies on the ASX. Unfortunately, the thing about a lot of these crypto companies invested on the blockchain, Overstock went up 20% in obviously its surge on August 9th. However, its stock has just dropped by 21% now, down 50% this year. Overstock is a massive investor in crypto, and that's fine. It's probably, again, going back to Andrew's article, is it the time to buy the dip? Is it a time to sell? I'm not sure. That obviously depends on you. This is not financial advice, but it is another way to get involved by buying stocks that are invested into cryptocurrency. Obviously, we talked yesterday about Square. We talked about how they're accepting money from all states. Crypterium in the UK, from the former CEO of Visa UK, is taking in crypto via SMS. And I've originally found a new one called cointext.io for all your Bitcoin Cash fans out there. Cointext.io, and we'll bring it up. It's kind of like the fastest way to
and the legacy address format.
You can say receive,
or it gives me the option
you get a Bitcoin
both.
address, and essentially it'll give you that, and you can then send an SMS message, $5, and you put the phone number in, and you put your confirmation code in, like so, and yeah, then the Bitcoin Cash, it sends out to the person. You just sent $5 Bitcoin Cash, bam, and that person can then just load up their Bitcoin Cash. They can send it to an exchange and sell it, or they can send it on to other people, which is incredible. I think it's a great innovation. Cointext.io. And do try to get out there and tip people with Cointext.io, because it will spread cryptocurrency and the way in which it can be used. Adoption is the most important thing that we need to get going right now, guys. Let's do a final check on prices. Where are we at? Binance Coin at $9.57, still under 10 bucks. Interesting trading times. Bitcoin at, where are we about? $6,254. Ethereum at $279, just under $280. Ethereum Classic still up 14% at $13.77. EOS at $4.60, down 2.5%. Neo is down still 4%. Ripple down 2.65%. Litecoin down to $54. All right, guys, we're going to leave it right there for today. Thanks very much for joining the Daily Exchange. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do join us. Spread the word. Get out there. And yesterday, if anyone hasn't seen it, the protocols, stablecoins, and the future of the blockchain with George Salmon and myself was probably one of the most insightful talks, and I do encourage you to check that video out. Check it out on the Crypto Finder channel. It's got some absolute gold in it as to where this whole market's going, and explains exactly what's going on. So thanks very much for joining the Daily Exchange.